morning, class. I'm Mr. David Ayoro, a teacher of chemistry. Welcome to our class. In our previous lesson, we discussed about a topic called electrochemistry. It's a continuation. Today we want to discuss standard electrode potential. When you talk about standard, it means that it is a electrode potential which is acceptable nationwide or worldwide. So hydrogen is used. When we were discussing electrode potential in the previous lesson, we discussed about electrode potential of other elements compared with copper. Then eventually hydrogen was chosen to be the standard electrode potential. So other elements were being, the electrode potential of elements were being found compared with hydrogen. So if you draw the cell diagram for the hydrogen as the reference electrode potential compared with other elements, then hydrogen is a gas. You will not use the electron of hydrogen, but you are going to use a wood the way it has been drawn. So this is the cell diagram for zinc with hydrogen as the reference electrode potential. So because zinc is more reactive than hydrogen, zinc is drawn. We use zinc electrode dipped in a solution containing zinc ion. Then the hydrogen is passed through the wood. Then we have got platinum. We have got 1 molar hydrogen ion in a container. The wood is being drawn. Hydrogen is passed through there, and hydrogen must be at standard temperature and pressure. Then the standard temperature is 25 degrees Celsius. Standard pressure is 1 atmosphere. Then the platinum is being connected using a voltmeter, using a wire. It's passed through a voltmeter using a wire to the second electrode. And zinc is also 1 molar zinc ion. So this one, the one which is drawn, is called the standard electrode potential of zinc vis-a-vis the one for hydrogen. So if hydrogen half cell is used as the reference electrode potential and assigned 0 volts at standard temperature, which is 25 degrees Celsius, and standard pressure, 1 atmosphere, and 1 molar concentration of zinc ion. So this is what we call standard electrode potential. We have got half cells of some selected elements compared with hydrogen half cell. So if you compare fluorine gas with hydrogen as the reference electrode potential, you're going to get 2.87 voltmeters, which would register on the 2.87 volts, which is going to be registered at the voltmeter. If you use chlorine, compare chlorine with hydrogen, you're going to get 1.36. Copper, compared to hydrogen, you're going to get positive 0.34. Hydrogen, compared to hydrogen, you're not going to register anything here because you're comparing the two gases, or those two half cells. You're going to register 0.00 volts. So this is the reference electrode potential compared with other electrode potential of other elements. Magnesium, you're going to register negative 2.37 volts. Potassium, you're going to register negative 2.92 volts. So in our table of electrode potential, you find that fluorine ion is the weakest reducing agent. That is, it has got the weakest ability to donate electron, fluorine ion, because of the positive EMF. Then potassium is the strongest reducing agent. That is the strongest ability to donate electron. That is potassium as a metal. And on the other side, fluorine gas is the strongest oxidizing agent. If it is the weakest reducing agent, it means that it's the strongest oxidizing agent. And if this one is the strongest reducing agent, it means that the ion of it is the weakest oxidizing agent. So, Henry, the more reactive the metal is, the greater the number of ions which go into the solution and the more negative the metal rod becomes. This explains why the most electropositive metal, like potassium, has the highest negative value of electromotive force. Because potassium will ionize very fast, and the electrons will accumulate on the potassium electron, which will make it be negative, be having a negative value. Will make it be negative. So it has got the highest negative value of EMF. So how to calculate the voltage between the metal pairs? This was a very important area. So the EMF for the cell, if you are told to calculate the EMF for the cell, then the E reduced minus E oxidized, where the E reduced is the electrical potential of the half cell that undergoes reduction. The one which has got the greatest positive EMF. The greatest positive EMF is the one which is reduced. E oxidized is the electrical potential of the half cell that undergoes oxidation. That is to say, the electrical potential with the greatest negative EMF. Greatest negative EMF. Let us look at this example. Study the electrical potential in the table below and answer the questions that follow. The letters do not represent the actual symbols of the elements. So you have been given a table here. This table is a table for reduction potential. This is S. S does not represent any element, but S is a bitten number. So S as an element will receive, S ions will receive 2 electrons to produce S solid. And the electrical potential there is 0.34. That is EMF, 0.34 volts. This is volts. T ions receiving 2 electrons, giving T solid negative 2.38 volts. U receiving electron to produce U as a metal, a solid, positive 0.38 volts. V receiving 2 electrons to produce V solid, negative 2.87 volts. Q receiving 1 electron to produce Q solid, 0.00 volts. R2 as a gas receiving 2 electrons to produce R ions, positive 2.87 volts. So if you are asked, which is the strongest reducing agent? Explain. The strongest reducing agent, and we say that the strongest reducing agent is the half cell. Look at the half cell with the greatest negative value. So if you look at this half cell, we land at this one, with the greatest negative EMF. That's the half cell. Then you ask yourself, a reducing agent. What's a reducing agent? A reducing agent is the one which is oxidized. And what is oxidation? Oxidation is the loss of electron. So V ion receiving electron, it means that the opposite, V will lose electron. So the strongest reducing agent is V, because V is the one which is losing electron. So it is V. Reason, because it has got the most negative reduction potential. It has got the most negative reduction potential, or it has got the lowest reduction potential as V. That is to say, the strongest reducing agent is the half cell with the greatest negative EMF. You must know that the strongest reducing agent is the half cell with the greatest negative EMF. And the reducing agent, the one is a substance which is oxidized. And oxidation is the loss of electron. So this one is not losing electron, this one is the one which is losing electron to form the ion. That's the reason why you have chosen V. Which is the strongest oxidizing agent? So you look at you go to the half cell with the greatest positive EMF. And the greatest positive EMF, you go to this half cell. Then you ask yourself, oxidizing agent is a substance which is reduced. And what is oxidation? What is reduction? Reduction is the gain of electron. So this one is losing electron to form this one. It means that this one is gaining electron. So the one which is gaining electron is R2. So it means that the answer is R2 is the one with the strongest oxidizing agent, and the reason is that it has got the highest reduction potential. That is to say, it is the most positive. It is the most positive reduction potential. So the most positive reduction potential is the one which is the strongest reducing agent, and the reducing agent is the one which is oxidized, and oxidation is the gain of electron, and the R2 is the one gaining electron. So write the ionic equation for the reaction that takes place when T is dipped in a solution containing U, negative of U. If you look at T and U, it means that T is more reactive than U. T undergoes reduction more than U. T, when you dip T in a solution containing ion and U is in a solution containing ion, T will lose electron most readily. It undergoes oxidation more than U because it's going to lose electron faster than U. So if you dip T in a solution containing U ion, because T is more reactive than U, it's going to displace U from a solution containing ion. Because you know that a more reactive metal will displace a less reactive metal from a solution containing this ion. So it's changed to T ion, and the two electrons, because T ionizes by losing two electrons, the two electrons will be received by U, two U ions, to form U as a solid. That is two of them. So this is the ionic equation when you dip T in a solution containing negative of U. Calculate the EMF for the cell of U and T. So the EMF, we have said that is E reduced minus E oxidized. E reduced is the half cell with the greatest positive, oxidized is the one which containing the greatest negative. So if you compare T and U, then U is reduced. So the EMF of U is 0.080 minus the one for T is negative 2.38. So minus in the bracket minus 2.38. So a minus from a minus gives you positive. So this one plus this one gives you positive 3.1 volts. And this is the EMF of cell which when U and D react together. We are going to continue from here. We will discuss other examples when we meet in our next lesson. Thank you.